Hello, my friends, and welcome to today's phonics lesson for today. Today we're going to be continuing our unit on word collectors and becoming a expert on collecting new and unfamiliar words. We've talked a lot about rare words, words that don't really pop up a lot in your reading, words that you may not use a lot in conversations when you're talking. So we're going to be diving a little bit more into collecting words like that. And before I get on with the actual lesson, I did just want to read you a part from the word collector again, because what I'm going to be reading to you on this page is actually going to be something that we are also going to try as well, just like Jerome did. Okay, so I'm just going to turn my body for a second, and I'm going to show you this page right here. And so what it says, Jerome's collection grew. He began organizing them, meaning the words that he found. So he began organizing them. Dreamy, science, sad, action, poetic. Okay? And so the one key word that the author uses on this page that I think is really important, especially for what we're going to be doing today, is it says he began organizing them. So organizing them is, in a way, it's kind of like sorting them, right? And there's many different ways that you can organize words. You can organize words by, anything, any kind of topic. It could be describing words. They could be nouns or naming something, right? They could be action words. Like, those are different ways that you can organize words, okay, and sort them. So what I wanted to first show you is this little chart right here. So it says ways to sort words. I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger so maybe you can see it better. Okay, ways to sort words. So one way is to sort them by the kind of word that they are, right? So you could sort words by action, jump, plop, think. Those are action words. You're doing those things, right? Describing words, right? Sunny, small, important. Those are words that describe something, okay? And then naming is another kind of word, right? Dog, sky, eyeball. You're naming something. It's either a person, a place, or an object, right? A noun. So that's one way that you can sort words, by the kind of word that they are. You can also sort words by the way they make you feel, right? So there's always these different types of feeling words, right? Like misery. Misery is over here. Or loss, right? Gone. Those are all words that might make you feel a little sad, right? Speckle, right, is another one that might make you. It's kind of like a cheery word, right? Speckle. Oh, okay, right. So those are other ways that you can sort words, the way they make you feel. You can also sort words by topic, right? So in this topic, there's river, sunrise, island, forest. So those are a lot of natural places and natural things that happen, like a sunrise, right? A natural place like a river or an island or a forest, right? And then over here we have planet, orbit, and explore, right? So those might be more like, again, that might be like a topic about like outer space, or learning about the planets and how they orbit, right? Exploring those ideas, right? So that's a way that you can sort words by topic. Okay, so these are just three examples of ways that you can sort words. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to show you a list of words that I have kind of learned myself and collected, as well as you have. I mean, I'm sure there's words in here that you've seen, that you've collected as well, and there's words that we collected in here together from our past phonics lessons. So I'm just going to quickly read them to you, and that way we know exactly which words we can sort where. So we have suspicious, paradise, delirious, paralyzed, monsters, dreadful, hurled, planting, threatened, depressed, flower, splat, slunk, island, fire, and rotten. Okay, so those are some words that we collected together as a class. Those are some words that I collected. Those are some words that you have also collected. So, and again, really great job on collecting those words. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try sorting these words by the kind of word that they are. So again, in our chart, it talked a lot about action words, describing, and naming, right? So I'm going to sort some of these words. So I'm gonna go one word at a time, and I'm gonna decide, is that word an action word, describing word, or naming word? So the first word that I'm going to work with is suspicious. Would suspicious be an action, describing, or naming? Well, suspicious would be describing, right? You're describing somebody or something as being suspicious, right? So that's going to come over here in our describing section, okay? Then we have paradise. Well, paradise, you would be naming that, right? You don't do a paradise. Paradise, it could be used to describe, but paradise is more of a noun. So I'm going to put it over here in the naming section. Okay, so I'm going to sort that word there. Delirious. Delirious sounds like it would be a describing word, right? So I'm going to move it over here in describing to be delirious. Okay. Paralyzed. So paralyzed would also be describing, right? And we actually learned about the word paralyzed in one of our other phonics lessons, right? Paralyzed means to kind of be like frozen, right? So if you're frozen, that would be a describing word. Monsters, I'm going to put over here in naming, right? Because that's something that we would name, right? We can name like monsters, or we can identify it, right? So if it's an object, we can see them, okay? Dreadful. Dreadful means to be like bad, almost like very dreadful, like not good. All right, so that would be a describing word. So I'm going to move dreadful over here into the describing category. Okay, and I'm going to do a few more. I don't think I'll do all of them, but let's see if we can really try and find like an action word. So an action word, actually these next two that I see are action words, right? Hurled. Hurled means to kind of like throw something, right? You're hurling something, like you hurl the ball over the fence, right? You hurled it, kind of give it a good throw. So that would be an action, right? Because you're doing it, you're hurling it. So hurled would go under action. Planting would also go under action, right? Because it's an action word. You're planting something. You might be planting a flower. You might be planting some vegetables in a garden, right? Those are things that you would do, so they would be action. I'm just going to go through a few more. So threatened, right? If you're feeling threatened, that means, you're almost feeling like nervous about something, or you're in danger of something. So threatened would be a good word to describe somebody that is feeling that way, right? So that would be a good describing word. And let's just do one more, okay? So let's see. Let's go with island, right? Over here, island. So island would go in the naming section, right? Because again, you're identifying it. If you're flying in a plane, right, and you see an island, you would say, hey, that's an island, right? So you're identifying the island. Okay, so, and these are some other words. I mean, you guys can always come back and see if you can sort these on your own, just by rewinding the video and pausing it, so that way I don't move on from it and you can sort the rest of these words. But that's generally the idea of how you can sort words. So now we have my action words, right? Hurled, planting. We have my describing words: suspicious, delirious, paralyzed, dreadful, threatened, right? And then we have my naming words: paradise, monsters, and island. So those are all ways that you can kind of sort words. You can put them into categories, right? And then that way you have, if you ever need to find like an action word when you're writing, you can always go back to your list of action words and find one that fits in your writing, okay? So that's how word collectors collect words. That's how they organize their words, and that's also how they use their words, okay? So when they learn a new word and they want to incorporate it into their writing, they just go to their list and say, I need to find a good describing word. Ooh, suspicious. Suspicious is a good describing word. I'm going to use that. So that's how word collectors use those words as well. Okay, so what I would like you to do for today, for your phonics assignment, is everybody should have gotten a copy of this, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so that it can fit your screen a little bit better. Okay, and so what I'm going to have you do for, hold on, let me just try and fix this a little bit. So what you're going to do for phonics is you are going to see if you can find at least 3 words for each category. So the categories are the same ones that we just worked with. So action words, describing words, naming words. And I just want you to try and find 3 action words, 3 describing words, and 3 naming words. These could be any words that you get from anywhere. They could be words that you saw in your reading today. They could be words that you saw in your reading last week. They could be words that you heard in a conversation that you were having with somebody at any point. Just find 3 action words that you learned, 3 describing words, and then 3 naming words. And write those words down. You don't have to define them. You don't have to talk about what you think they mean. I just want to see if you can sort words by different categories. Can you know the difference between an action word, a describing word, and a naming word? Okay, so again, use any words that you learned. If you learned a new word today from like right here, then you can incorporate that one into your assignment right here. Okay, any word that you learned from anywhere, I just want to be able to see if you can sort them. So 3 action words, 3 describing words, and 3 naming words. And that's going to be our phonics lesson for today, boys and girls. So can't wait to see all of the words that you write down in here, all the words that you've learned in the past day, week, whatever. So I'm just really excited to see those new words that you found, and I'm also excited to see how well you're able to sort those different words. Okay, so great job, and again, can't wait to see your words that you learned for today. All right, thank you.